So for this is I wanted to explain the potential viewers what's going to happen, and if they are sellers, I said don't be so amazed. You're not saving anything. You're just making, like, this settlement was making the things harder, and then for buyers especially. But as I say, I'm indirect to the seller. Why? Because those buyers, they are not qualified anymore for 5%, let's say first-time buyers. So I think the first-time buyers was the most hit. They are not legally represented, and they don't know what they buy.
Okay, so they have.
So they have. It's a big risk, you know.
So it's an education. You practically, people need to get educated, really. If that system will be implemented, especially in Canada, probably you have to deliver a lot of presentation.
Now I think they will survive just the most professional agents. And now you have to be specialized probably more in the buyer side, because the buyer commission is not coming through the listing. So you have to fight to find buyers, to convince them that you are a good agent, you are you have amazing services, in order for them to pay you whatever percentage to buy a home for them, which is crazy.
It is. It's,
you know, it's reshaping the industry.
I guess that's the word. And if that happens, I mean, everybody needs to adapt.
Yes.
Because it's nothing, learn a little bit more. I encourage people to actually attend to presentations, like probably you will have presentation to explain people in their plain language, because sometimes people can't quite understand, especially the first-time buyers. They don't have the proper language for the real estate, but probably more and more educational materials and presentations needs to be done, and the people to have the chance to ask questions, to understand the process, to see where to be cautious. Like you said, you have to be cautious, because not necessarily the listing agent will
tell you
the
whole truth.
Your interests. So you have to have somebody in your corner, not the other part corner.
It's so funny. Like in some, for example, I just try to make a parallel between the divorce lawyers. So the divorce lawyers, basically, they cannot with both husband and wife if they want to divorce. Okay. But imagine how come they allow that in the real estate industry, because it's not fair. Because if you are acting on both sides, you're not, you cannot act like a pure, ethical in both sides. So someone has to lose in one and another. So now
you cannot be objective.
You cannot be objective, even if you're the most ethical person.
You cannot. I mean, but it is weird, because even in the workplace, because I work in employment for so many years, barely you see husband and wife working in the same workplace.
Yes.
And it's not so dangerous, like in representing a seller and the buyer at the same time. It's not so, and still they're very, very cautious all the time. So I'm very surprised they want the same person representing
basically what it is here is it's much easier now to get in a multiple representation agreement, because the buyer probably will go to the listing agent, but it's very dangerous, as I said, because the seller knows for the listing agent and hire him to get the best price. So how come the listing agent will get the best price for the seller and at the same time to get the best price for the buyer? It's impossible. It's impossible.
It's not going to happen.
And imagine the listing agent knows a lot about the seller, knows a lot about the house, that other agents they don't know, the other people they don't know, and now they have to disclose everything to the buyer if they have a client relationship. But if they decide, the buyer has decided that they don't want to pay, so it's basically non-representation agreement. So the listing agent is not acting on their behalf. Imagine how dangerous it is for those buyers, because they don't have a clue how much that house is worth. If that house has problems that even home inspection cannot reveal, there's some, other
history,
a lot of history maybe around the house. I don't know, the area is it's a flooding area. They don't know, they don't disclose. I just give an example. The house looks perfect, everything is okay, the home inspection is okay, but they have maybe it's a haunted house. You don't know. maybe it's
some people are okay.
Yeah, some people are okay, but some other,
okay.
you know, or a crime will happen in that house, or mass murder happen. You know, like there are a lot of things that the buyer hidden that they cannot be disclosed even with the home inspection. So imagine how you know, difficult now is for the buyer to buy a house, you know, hoping that they can get the 2.5% or the 2% or whatever commission they have to pay to the buyer agent. If they go, as I said, to the listing agent, they're not doing for free for sure. They will ask for money, the same money, but even worse, they get the more money.
Yeah.
And then they don't provide the same level of service like a professional buyer agent. They are acting on their behalf and not for the seller.
So you need a judge.
You need to judge, yes.
No, but you need a judge, like you said, for the lawyers. Yeah. You need a judge to make sure everything is fair for both parties.
You know, so all the world was watching. The NAR was doing amazing. The system was great. You know, even until now. And everybody was trying to get to that level, and we tried to implement that in Europe, and some countries they already implemented. And now to go back 50 years back, you know, believing that you're doing a great thing. No, it's just you know, it's just a lawsuit, and they had as I say, amazing bunch of lawyers that they did great for themselves. And then for, you know, a group of people, but as I said, those group of people, maybe they get pennies on the dollar, whatever settlement was, and the most money they want. You know, I don't know exactly, but this is, it's in my assumption. It's my assumption.
Your interpretation.
Yes.
But you know, it's funny because until a week ago, 2 weeks ago, all the news were around the rates, the mortgage rates at the bank. And suddenly, nobody talks about the rates anymore, but talks about the new law about. So for this I wanted to explain the potential viewers what's going to happen, and if they are sellers, I said don't be so amazed. You're not saving anything. You're just making, like, this settlement was making the things harder, and then for buyers especially. But as I say, I'm indirect to the seller. Why? Because those buyers, they are not qualified anymore for 5%, let's say first-time buyers. So I think the first-time buyers, those the most hit. Most hit. But it's too bad, because already was hard.
I hope this video will be, I don't know, will be heard about, you know, from, you know, a high level of government, federal, provincial, and they will understand what's going on.
Yeah, at least to have a discussion with people like you, because you prove yourself in so many years.
Well, Marius, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
How long have you been a real estate agent?
Since 2005.
Yes.
So almost 18 years.
18 years. Listen, you work so hard. You're top 100 agent worldwide, which is fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Scott.
And you don't just help people sell or buy homes. You do the whole pack. How do you know what to do to a house in order to increase its value?
I learn from you.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so you're a pro then.
Yeah. So I try to, you know, explain people that if they, you know, improve their, you know, like with a new countertop, a new flooring, a new bathroom, a new kitchen, they will, you know, like for each dollar, they will get maybe $1, $2, $3, $4 more.
Yes.
So this is very important.
It's the return on investment.
Exactly.
You want to take care of your clients. You're not just here to help them buy or sell a home. You help them move. You give them renovation tips.
Everything.
It's one of the reasons why you and your family are so successful in this business.
Yes. They give me the keys of the house, and they live in Caribbean for 2 weeks, and when they come back, the house is sold for the most money.
You should have your own show.
No. So I am so busy doing that, but I love it. But you know, it's a pleasure to do the best thing for my clients. So.
Well, look, you've seen a lot. You've got a lot of experience, especially in the Markham area. Where do you see the future of real estate in Markham? Because
of the huge immigration in Canada, I think it's a good investment for investors to invest in real estate.
Yes.
And especially in Markham, because you know, it's close to Toronto. Close to 404, so it's a very very close to Toronto, and the value in long term will go up for sure.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's a great investment.
Listen, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much, Scott.
You're the best at what you do.
Thank you so much.